Good morning.
Morning.
How have you been?
Good. How are you?
I'm very good.
It's great.
Cool. Uh, it's getting cold. Uh, cool.
चाय पी के शनि वो मुंह में डाल दे उससे मांग के।
Yeah. Anybody wants to share anything? Okay. How does it feel like for the people who are joining in the morning? Like you have to wake up in the morning. I don't know if you already were waking up at 6:30 or not, but how does it feel like if you have to wake up in the morning and attend a call? Like, you know, what brings you here? You can write it on chat if you can't talk. It doesn't matter. Whatever is your, you know, whatever comes to you, that what brings you here.
I'm also not a morning person. I love to sleep in, not very late, but a little late. But I just felt that I want to incorporate this practice into my life, and I thought the best way to do it was to be here with you every morning. To, like you said, create a habit. It takes a little while.
Right.
Yes.
Cool. Thank you. Anybody else who wants to share?
Hi, Vandana.
Yeah. Hi, Pal.
So, I'm also not a morning person, but I am, doing my best to attend the calls. And if not the calls, then I regularly do the chanting of the
Post.
list that you post. Yeah. Or listen to the cloud. So it's like, like it's growing on me slowly and steadily. But yeah, and it feels good after the chanting, although I don't understand what is happening, but still, yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for joining. And yeah, anybody else, one more person, what brings you here? You can write it on chat or you can unmute and speak like Bhavika and Sagari did. Cool. Just felt like Okay, she writes just felt like. Okay, cool. Okay. For those who joined later, Anju, Pratibha, I had asked what brings you here in the morning 6:30? Because usually none of us nowadays wake up early, but then waking up and coming here.
For a new change, positive.
Okay, cool. For change and for feeling positive. Ah, nice. So, so far the answers. Huh.
अब बहुत अच्छा फील होता है, चेंज फील होता है, खुद में बहुत एनर्जी होती है, सब अच्छा लगता है इसलिए.
Okay, thank you. So, why did I ask this question? Usually when I close my eyes before I start my session, I almost like I connect to the divine and I ask, okay, what do I talk today? It's, I mean, I have varieties of things to talk, but then what does the group require or what does the world require? And what if I speak will create something greater for the group and for people around who are watching and listening to the SoundCloud or the YouTube. So first answer was creating a habit. Second was Bhavika said that, oh shit, I've forgotten. Okay, so feels good, feels positive for a change. Okay, for changing something into something, getting a new change. And so, yeah, also Bhavika said, I do not understand, but still I'm doing it. Okay. And Seema said, just felt like. So it's interesting, right? How a habit forms. How does a habit form? These are the things which are kind of, the phases from which a habit is created. For example, why do we do things? Just because we feel like, right? Like how Seema said, it was very simple. I just felt like, okay. I'm just kind of, noting it down so that we can build on that. Okay. So yeah, to create a habit, whenever we do anything, there was this one workshop that I had done long back, like I think in 2012 or maybe 2011, actually, not even 2012, 2011. That was in my beginning days when I started learning all these things. Okay, 2011, I was doing this workshop called Train the Trainer with Dr. Sneh Desai and Sandeep Gachar from Ahmedabad. It was a program of 7 days for public speaking. And at that time, it was 40,000 for 7 days. And I was never used to like doing workshops. I never knew how workshops function, what it is going to do to me. And at that time, and even now, like 40,000 was a big amount for me at that time. Way more big 10 years back than now. Today, maybe I can still give it a shot easily. But that was the only money I had in my bank account at that time. Exactly like 40,000. That was the only money I had. And it almost felt like this is the only opportunity I have to change things which are not changing. And I was in a space of life where everything was, almost not working for me. And everything was almost, it felt like everything is against me and everything is going downward hill. And then I went in that space to this person and I said, sir, 40,000 is huge for me. And for 7 days, if you're asking me to give 40,000, that's only money I have. And I belong to a middle class family and I'm not like very rich or anything. So will you tell me, leaving aside all your marketing jargons that everybody does to promote workshops, that how is this going to help me? And if you tell me how is this going to help me genuinely, I'm willing to invest. But please be very genuine and authentic in your answers. And before that 1 hour, I had shared all my problems and what I'm going through and how life is so difficult and like how I'm in my lowest and etc. etc. I shared everything before that to him. And then these were my last words, like almost like, as if when you beg for help to someone that please tell me what to do, like that. Okay. And he told me, from your conversations, Vandana, at least I get that you're a very dedicated mother and you really, really have gone all out of the way for your children and you want your children to be successful and you're working very hard for that. So if that is the program for public speaking, he said, if you don't become a trainer in the next 7 days, or if you don't ever become a professional trainer in your entire life, if you don't start public speaking also, but if you learn sincerely what we do in these 7 days, and even if you teach it to your children will have a good life. And he just said that. And he also said, along with that, that despite all odds that are going on in your life, one thing that I see, you have tremendous strength, Vandana. You have a lot of strength. I just heard all those. I must have spoken 1 hour and he just spoke like this many minutes. But he spoke with a lot of conviction. It almost felt that whatever he's saying is going to be true. And I said, okay, given. And I gave all that I had, like literally all that I had. I had a ticket booked back home. I was with my son and I had a ticket booked for the next day, but I canceled that ticket. People were angry with me back home. What is all this nonsense? What are you doing? But I just did it. That just felt like, okay. And those 7 days changed my whole life. It's not only that class. I've done so many classes after that. And I've done even classes which are worth 1,25,000 just for 3 days. I earned all the money which I invested into learning. I worked day in, day out, because it became so fascinating for me to do this work that I gave it my all. Okay. And yes, my children are successful. So it was not a fake promise. And not only my children are successful, I did become a professional trainer in due course. I started doing soft skills training in colleges. And those were one of the best times of my life, when I used to be like among, say, 500 students and talk somehow from soft skills training, I moved to healing because I felt this is deeper work, and that is like motivational, but it doesn't change too much. But when we do deeper work, when we work on our inner being, which you cannot do in a mass, you have to do work on yourself. So for whatever reasons, I moved, but then I still love that platform where I can talk to children. Okay. When I say children, of course, college going children were children for me because my children were that age at that time. And so what did those 7 days do to me? Is it only about what we learn in a class? Is it only about the theory that we have studied or the practice that we have done? No. It is about that one decision that we made. That one decision that we made, that I am going to do this for me. And I require this, knowing that I require this, knowing that I want to do this, and giving it your all. Okay. And believe you me, I was not the best participant there. There were 20 participants, some doctors, some engineers, some bureaucrat, and I was a housewife. And like a housewife who came from a very simple background. We used to still wear saris then. And, saris, and that too, we were very, very, like, my in-laws were quite conservative. So from that background, to be able to talk on the stage in front of, I would call them esteemed guests, was very difficult. I used to shiver. I used to forget what I have to say. And it used to be like every day, it used to be like one more failure and a feeling that I will never be able to do this. Okay. And at times it felt like, oh my God, I spent so much money, but I'm not able to receive anything from this. Okay. And when I used to see everybody who's so educated and so smart and doing good work, maybe some weren't, there were some people behind me also. But usually we like to see the people above us who are doing better than us. And we tend to compare that, oh my God, this person is so good. When will I be that? Right? When will I become like that? And that was the case, not just those 7 days. And then there was level 2 and level 3, and then it went on. So with every teacher, every person who spoke in the public, which I used to watch, my mentors, my teachers, and I used to just watch them in awe, and I used to be like, oh my God, I'll never be able to speak like this. I can never become like this. So these were my thoughts until I realized that I don't need to become like anyone. I just need to be me. And that I realized after Access Consciousness, when I read the book Being You, Changing the World of Dr. Dain Heer. And when I've also attended Dain Heer's class, Being You, Changing the World. And, it's very easier said than done. Okay. All these things that we read, all these things that we get motivated by, the people that we listen to. But I know for a fact that to create a workshop that changes people's lives, to write a book that can just make a difference simply when a person reads that book, it is not a one-day job. Okay. It takes efforts. It is a habit. It is, something that you must have a burning desire to do. Okay. In this workshop, until 6 days, they used to make us stand in a line who gave the best speech today. Second, third, fourth. Out of 20, I was somewhere 13, 14 every day. And then I used to go back to my PG. I was staying with my son. I used to go back to my PG and I used to tell my son, मेरे से तो होता ही नहीं है, मैं तो कर ही नहीं पाती हूँ. सब लोग इतना अच्छा बोलते हैं. Or so they said you have to take care of your smile. You have to smile when you're on stage, and like your gestures, your posture must be right, and you must look confident. So, and then for me, the biggest difficulty was eye contact. That still is the difficulty, because later on I got to know that I have some autism spectrum disorder, which from childhood. So it's very difficult for me to have eye contact for a long time. And that's why you'll see me like, I'll keep looking here and there when I'm talking. That's very, that's what it is. So, my teacher also made fun of me because I was just looking at one person and talking. And my teacher said, it looks like Bandana has fallen in love with this person. She's only looking at him. And it was so embarrassing. It was crazy embarrassing. And I felt so bad, like so bad. And then I came back home and I was like, tomorrow is the last day and I'm not yet prepared for anything. But the previous day I had told my son that he was preparing for his college entrance and other things. So he made you know what he did? He cleaned up the entire PG room. He kept things in a semicircle. Like what things? The pot, the cooler, the, college bag, etc. in a semicircle. He cleaned the room. It was on a terrace. He made a small chart, like an A4 sheet. At that time, I didn't even know what A4 sheet is, believe me. And on that drawing sheet, he just drew hearts. And he said, Ma, you can do this. And on the back of, because it was a small paper, so on the back of the paper, he had written, I love you, you're the best. And he put that on the window. And he had gone for his entrance exams. He closed the door. On the door, he kept a small rose in a packet, just to tell me best of luck for the next day. That gesture, obviously I've shared that in many workshops, and those who have attended few workshops of mine know the story. That one gesture, that one person who believed in me, that one person who knew me well, that one person who said that you can do this, was enough for me to take that next big step. So first big step was the choice that I made. I want to do this workshop. Second big step was when I was feeling that I can't do it, I can't do it, I can't do it. It's very difficult. But then, because I don't know so much, I don't watch, I don't read newspapers, I don't have anything and to talk about the topics they've given, tough topics to talk. And then the last topic was water and its importance. And I was sitting and practicing the whole night about, water and its importance. I browsed internet and I made a speech until 1:30 in the night. I was sitting and I was talking to those objects in a semicircle, trying to do the eye contact with each one and practicing that. And morning, I used to wash my clothes because we were in a PG. And then I had to reach there at 7:30 in the morning. I had to reach there. It started at 7:30. So from home, I used to wake up early in the morning, finish my daily chores, wash my clothes, put it on drying, and then go there because I would come back in the night by 8 o'clock because 7:30 to 7:30. 12 hours every day, seven days, almost. Okay. But I used to do everything that it took. And that day, while I was washing my clothes, I was just suddenly I got an idea. That was the first time, like I didn't know the word channeling then. Today I know that I channel something. Okay. And how does channeling come? Like how do you, when your mind is completely clear, when you're completely focused, when you're in your happiest space, because the previous day my son had done such a beautiful thing for me. So I was in really, really happy space. Okay. And then I was thinking about how when he was small, he used to say this story of the thirsty crow, that a crow was very thirsty. He looked for water here and there. And he used to say it in a very childlike way. Okay. At last, he saw a pot of water, but there was very little water in the pot. The crow thought of a plan. He collected some stones and put them into the pot one by one. The water came up, the crow drank the water and flew away feeling very thirsty. So my son used to, have difficulty in saying R when he was small. So he used to say L, thirsty. So there was many words he wouldn't pronounce as a kid. And he used to say that story very cutely. And I was, while washing the clothes, I was just thinking, because I was thinking about what he did for me the previous night. And I was very happy, very grateful. I didn't know the words grateful also that time. Like I was so naive. I was just so in my house. I mean, I may have known English because I have studied in English. But then I was a housewife by then for like almost 18 years. And in a very simple family and just doing my daily, morning breakfast, cooking, homework of children, washing clothes and taking care of my mother-in-law, etc., etc. So it was a very simple, beautiful life. I don't have any problem with that life. I completely believe, because I have been a housewife, I feel being a housewife is the toughest job to do. And the most unconditional one as well. Okay. And then, so when that story just came to my mind, and I was on the way on the auto, I called both of them once, my husband and my son, and I shared with them, does this sound good? Does this sound good? And they were like, yeah, rock, you're going to rock. Go ahead, do it. And then I went there and I told my teacher very confidently. That day I was very confident. That day I said, you know what, sir, Sandeep sir, today I want to start the program with my speech. He was just looking at me. ये कल तक तो 13 number पे खड़ी थी. इसको क्या हो गया आज? And then he was like, okay, because some good teachers know what to do, when to do. Okay. And Sandeep Gajjar sir is an amazing teacher, like amazing teacher. I'm grateful to have some amazing teachers in my life. And I told him that when you call guests from outside who speak, there were guest speakers in those 70s. I said, you introduce them that, oh, this is so-and-so person, has come from so-and-so place, is a speaker, public speaker, a life coach, etc., etc. So how you introduce them before they come on stage? Will you introduce me today before I go on stage? Now, can you imagine how did I get all that confidence? Till 6 days, which I didn't have, the 7th day. But I had it at that day because I was very present in those 6 days. I was completely focused. I was really wanting to do whatever, that thing well, okay? And on the 7th day, so he introduced me. So, okay, we have a lady who is a housewife from Indore and who has learn public speaking, and she's now a public speaker. He introduced me. So let's clap hands for her, and etc. etc. And he introduced me, and I came on stage that day. On that day, I spoke. I gave this whole story that, we are supposed to talk about the importance of water. And my son, when he was small, he used to say this story of the thirsty crow. I'm sure everybody must have heard it. And how many of you have heard it? And everybody raised their hands. I was like, yeah. So, and then I said the whole story in a way the child would say. So because my teacher said, okay, when you speak in public, you must have a little drama. You must have authority. You must have confidence. This, all that. So I was trying to complete those parameters also while doing that. And then they said, you must use the whiteboard to write. So I said, how many of you, what do you all want to say? What is the moral of the story? So whatever each one was saying, I was writing on the board. So I was using the board as well. So there was in the back of my mind that I have to complete all parameters. And there was this part of me which was so happy, so excited to share what I had to share, not what I read on the internet, not something that I prepared. Just something that came spontaneously from within me. What only I knew then. Okay. And then I told the whole story. And then after that, I told people sitting there that there is a moral in every line of the story, according to me. Okay. I said a crow was very thirsty. If the crow was not very thirsty, he would never reach out for water. So water would have no importance if the crow was not very thirsty. If we all are never thirsty, we will never reach out for water. Okay. And then I said, that means we must have a burning desire to do something in life. And if we don't have a burning desire, we will not get it. Okay. We will not even reach out. So first and foremost thing that everybody must have is a burning desire to do something in life. Second, he looked for water here and there, and then he found a pot of water. So I said, as per the law of attraction in the book Secret, because by the time I started reading books, whenever we want something very strongly, we think of something very strongly, we attract the means. So I said, the second thing is attract. So you have a burning desire and you attract. And then I said, but the water was very, shallow. It was, it was not reachable. So most of the times when we have a goal in life, or we have a burning desire to do something in life, and we think we want to do it, we attract the means also, but then it feels not reachable. So it feels not reachable. Okay. But because there is a burning desire, you don't, you try, and the crow thought of a plan, right? You derive an idea. Okay. Now there I introduced the word idea, derive an idea, because at that time there was this idea ad that used to come. Ek idea jo badal de aapki duniya. That was a slogan in a advertisement. So I said, derive an idea, that one idea that changes your life. Okay. And then I said, simply having the ideas, will that help? No. If you have an idea, you have to execute it, right? You have to apply the idea in person, right? You have to do something about it. So I said, application of the idea is the next line. So because the crow collected the stones and put them into the pot one by one, it was a task, right? He did it still. Because so much was the thirst, so much was the burning desire to drink that water. And then if he would have halfway, while putting the stones, given up, that bhai ho gaya, bahut sara stones dal diya, ye pani to nahi milne wala hai. Then over, story over. Okay. But because it was very thirsty, burning desire to do something. So he never gave up. So I said, the next thing is never give up. Okay. And then the water came up, the crow drank the water and flew away feeling very happy. And I said, accomplished. Okay. So when I wrote these, I wrote burning desire, attract, attract the means, not reachable, derive an idea, apply the ideas, never give up, accomplish. And when I wrote it on the board, the initials were BANDANA, Bandhana. I said, that's Bandhana. And then I created my email ID, that's bandhana@gmail.com. And that was like, woo, everybody clapped. Like literally everybody clapped. And my teacher, they were giving stars to the person who spoke the best. So he had this, for example, if this is where the stars are, there were a few stars left after, putting stars every day on the 6 days, 6 stars gone out of 20 stars. So he just took that and he said, I think I can give all of this today to Bandhana. And for me, it was accomplished. I was at the happiest, like there was, and I announced that day in the workshop there. I said, this is by far my first public speak, public talk, and there's a long way to go. So yeah, when you really, really want to do something, you will find ways, and you may feel it is difficult. But if you keep on, deriving ideas, applying ideas, and never give up, you will accomplish anything that you wish to accomplish, anything. For me, public speaking was like almost an impossible task, because in my 12th standard school, when I participated in a debate around something about blind people, I had to talk. I wrote a speech of 2 pages, and I went, and that time we had a dais also in the school. And I took the paper with me, and I just said, good morning, teachers, good morning, principal ma'am, and the guest. And my hands and legs were shivering so much that I just said, thank you, and I left. And everybody laughed. My whole school laughed. And I was in the 12th grade, 11th or 12th, 11th maybe. That day I decided I'm never going to talk in public. And that's how we make decisions in life. Because one time when everybody has laughed at us, we feel that I can never do this. So that's why public speaking was almost like an impossible thing for me. Taking the mic in my hand was almost like, oh my God, that memory of everybody will laugh at me will come alive. And that I can't do this. And I was not able to do this for 6 days. And when somebody laughed at me, triggered also. That shit, I'm just making fun of me and giving people the opportunity to laugh at me. And when you're in your down phase, right, in life, and that time when somebody laughs at you or when somebody judges you for the clothes you're wearing or anything like that, it almost feels like already you had a belief that the whole world is against me, and that gets reinforced that, oh my God, the whole world is against me. These people also don't like me. These people also are laughing at me. These people are also judging me. And you already have a feeling of inadequacy. You already feel that you're inadequate, that you're not good enough. But then, one thing I knew that day, that, there are 2 children in my life who look up to me. Not for the whole world, not for anybody, for myself and for them, I'm going to do this. Because they believe in me. And today there are so many children, like if I say 10,000, it's not a big number. That many children I have met in my life and I've spoken to, and I've done public speeches, and I've done speeches at malls in open platforms, and also, I mean, there were a lot of criticisms I faced. I've faced a lot of judgments from people for the clothes that I wear, for not looking good enough, and for not knowing how to do makeup. And no, you have to do some makeup. You know, you don't look like a professional, you look like a housewife. I've had people tell me all that. Then look at your DP on your Skype. At that time, it was Skype. So on your Skype, that DP looks like a housewife. You have to change your DP, you must look professional. So I've had all these things coming from like very renowned people. And I've had people come and tell me, what fucking healing you're doing? You yourself have such a scarred life, and you're telling how to heal to people. I have my own friends who have come and told me that, you know, oh, you're doing healing for the whole world. Apni life ka to pata hi nahi hai. So it is not like, you know, one fine day, one person becomes something. Okay. One fine day, it doesn't happen. Day by day, every day, choice by choice, decision by decision, never giving up, and believing in yourself, acknowledging the people who believe in you, loving them, loving yourself, loving your family, the people who are there with you. And even when people are not there with you, knowing that for me, it is God, that God is with me, right? Today, I really, like, I've moved beyond so many things in my life. I can just stand and talk on the road without bothering, even if I wear a pajama or anything, doesn't matter to me. Do I have lipstick? Do I have anything? Nothing. Nothing matters to me. I know when I talk, people will listen. I know when I talk, life transforms. I know that I didn't come here just by fluke. I came here, I am here because I'm meant to be here. I'm meant to do this, and I've put in a lot of efforts to be here. So it's not like, oh, I just paid money and I got this position. What position? No position. Not what the world thinks as a position. Not my picture is not on hoardings, okay, or on magazines. Does that matter to me? It doesn't. My words have come in newspapers, though I never read newspapers. There was this editor or journalist in Delhi who called me one day that, Vandana, I just wanted to talk to you. I read your name on Susan Jeffers' website. You're the exclusive trainer in India for Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. I said, yeah, and I was in a court trying to, do some document stuff. And I was like, okay, I'm just waiting for some work to happen. I have 20 minutes, we can talk. And she asked some questions, I gave some answers, and she wrote an article. And later on, after some 10 days, like, I have calls coming from across the country. Hey, Bandana, your name is in the newspaper. Like, which newspaper? What? And then I was like, okay. Then I actually, my brother sent me the e-newspaper. He said, Dekh, naam hai tera. I was like, acha. Did I even save that? I haven't even saved that. Does it even matter? It doesn't matter. What matters to me? What matters to me is I'm living the life of my dreams. What matters to me is my loved ones love me a lot. What matters to me is I love my family a lot. My children are doing well. So yesterday only I was telling somebody, I'm still that same housewife only. I love to be a housewife, sitting at home, doing my stuff, aram say. I don't have any ambition of being a CEO of a company. I don't have that. And I don't want to be that. It's just as simple as that. When your dreams and your goals are congruent to who you are authentically, then there is no parameter of success. There is no parameter which can measure how happy or how successful you are. Only you know. And it is enough for you to know. The world doesn't need to know. So yeah, when you say, right, you just felt like, or you want to create a habit, or you came for change, or you came here because bahut acha lagta hai, or you came here because you feel positive. Or even if you're here because even though you don't understand, but you're still here, it doesn't matter why you're here. But you must know why you're here. You must ask yourself, what brings me here? What brings me here? Keep asking yourself, what would I like my life to look like? What would I like my reality to look like? Okay. What must I do different? What can I do different? What can I be different to be where I wish to be? And you will be there. So when I'm not only bringing Soul's Temple here, to the people who listen to me, wherever I go, whether I'm doing an Access Consciousness class or the tools are of Access Consciousness, the tool is Soul's Temple. But what does a facilitator bring to the table? A facilitator brings the energy that the facilitator is being. I bring to you what I'm being. I may be stupid, I may be intelligent, I may be wise, I may be foolish, doesn't matter. I'm bringing to you what I'm being. And because there is something that you like about me, that's why you're here. There's something that you receive in this place, that's why you're here. And there's something inside of you that knows that this something is going to contribute to you and you're going to create something for you. That's why you're here. So, you know, there are only two reasons why we do something. And that was what I learned in that workshop, Train the Trainer. Either we had to or we want to. There are things we have to do and there are things we want to do. And both are not wrong. The things that we have to do are also important to do. We should not run away from that. We have come with a set of roles and responsibilities, duties in this world. So we have to do that. And for that, there's this quote that I always have shared. And I read it from my college days because for me, going to college was such a pain. I never liked school and college. So I used to write down quotes of other people from that time when I used to read Reader's Digest. So there's this quote that doing one thing every day that you do not like to do is the golden rule for acquiring the habit of doing your duty without pain. Such great people who have written these things. I don't even remember the name of the person who's written, but I remember what that person wrote, right? And they are so inspiring. Like, I'm so motivated when I read such things. Doing one thing every day that you do not like to do is the golden rule for acquiring the habit of doing your duty without pain. And that's why, even though if I don't like to wake up at 6:30 in the morning, I'll still do it. Okay. Many times I feel like, "Arey yaar, 3 months is too long." But commitment. And then the burning desire that what contribution can I be to people who are taking out the time, waking up in the morning and coming and sitting here. How grateful I am for that. Right? And what does that create? Does it only create this small soul's temple thing that we are all doing, some 5 statements or 10 statements? No, this is creating so many more people who will start believing in themselves, who will start healing themselves. And because I love to do this work, and when there are people who are listening, that is only when I feel like, okay, I can record this, I can put it on YouTube. Otherwise, I've never put anything on YouTube unless I did these calls. Like, I don't feel like doing all those things. But this I do it because I know it's going to transform people's lives. Now that all that you are co-creating with me, you all sitting here are supporting me to do better than I was doing yesterday. Does that mean that without you guys, I can't do anything? No. I can. I'm still doing something. There's this immense amount of joy that comes along with your work. When you have gratitude for the people, you're not people working with me, but you're people who are supporting my work. And yeah, I feel a lot of gratitude for everybody who listens to me, not just today, like every day, not here, on any platform, anywhere. It's really, very heartwarming to have, people come and acknowledge, come and listen to you and come and tell you that, hey, Vandana, you know what? I did this thing and this that you said, and my life changed. And, I look back to the teachers who taught me things, and I always feel that, what am I doing? I'm just paying it forward. What has been gifted to me by the divine, I'm just giving it forward. Right? That's what it is. So you must have a burning desire. And if you don't have it yet, it's never too late. Think, what is it that you want to achieve in life? And come tomorrow with that. Write it down on your notebooks and come tomorrow. It can be a very simple thing. Like, for example, something that I haven't yet achieved. I've been wanting to learn dance forever. But I don't know how to dance. Because whenever I go to a dance class, I've gone to salsa class, I've gone to another like contemporary dance class. I give it up in between. If it's a 2 months class, I'll go 1 month and I'll leave it. I'll be like, ye nahi hone wala. Because I'm too slow and everybody is quite fast, and I don't have that hand motor coordination and the coordination basically. Yoga also, when I used to do yoga, if they say breathe in and then this posture and breathe out and then this or something like that, for whatever, I don't want to make autism a reason for that, but it's difficult for me to do that with the breath step. I still can't do that. Not that I'm making it my limitation. I still do yoga. I like, forget the breath, just do. Okay. If it's not happening, let it not happen. Theek hai, chalega. So I've gone to dance movement therapies, I've gone to trance on trance, but I still have that desire. I still want to one day dance and like, maybe put a video out there of dancing. On that day, I think I'll feel even more accomplished. So it really doesn't matter. There is no age, there is no big desire, small desire, or think big, dream big or not. Nothing, man. Just do what you love to do. Life is too short to keep thinking what to do. Just do it. Right? So just spontaneously what comes, like what you feel like, yeah, man, I want to do this. Just go do it, man. Like, really, I'm telling you. We waste a lot of time thinking, like we spoke yesterday, right? Thinking. Stop thinking, do things. And I do it also. Like, for example, I haven't yet made any video or anything. I've not yet completed dance classes. But in my house, I'll keep doing, I'll do everything that I want to do. I'll put on music and I'll, move my body. It doesn't matter. Even that makes me feel good. Okay. But I don't yet have the confidence to put it on a public page, but I will do it one day. Maybe 3 months. These 3 months, my goal to put out a dance video. So yeah, I mean, 3 months it takes to make a habit. 3 months it takes to break a habit. 3 months it takes to form a pattern. And 3 months, if you all wake up with me in the morning, decide that, okay, whatever you want to do, which you haven't been able to do so far, which you think it would be something that you would just enjoy doing or love to do, write down that today with today's date. And give yourself the time of 3 months, that in this 3 months, I am going to do this. Okay, whatever that may be, it really doesn't matter. But you have to be realistic, of course. You can't like write like I want to marry Shah Rukh Khan. Right? So it has to be something that is tangible, which is achievable, and which is congruent to who you are, which is where your principles and values are met, and which is going to give joy to you, and maybe money to you, or if you have a money target that I have to earn this much money in this much time, that also is a target. So you can, or I have to do this many classes in this much time. It can be anything that you love to do, and just go for it. Write down. Writing goals is a great practice. Write down your goals. Read them every day. What will happen if you read it every day? If you see it, you can be it. And that reminds me, I haven't yet ever written that I want to put a dance reel video on my notebook so far. I think I'm going to write it today. So that's what it is. So the only statement I want you all to do today is working towards my goals, or you can put dreams. Dreams are different from goals. Targets are different from dreams and goals. I'm not giving the explanation for that now, but then we can just say dreams, targets, or goals, whatever sounds good to you. And I'm going to just affirm three times. We're already overboard on time, but then you can affirm later. So working towards my goals is my soul's temple. Working towards my new goals is my soul's temple. Working towards my new goals is my soul's temple. Taking one step every day for my goals is my soul's temple. Taking one step every day for my goals is my soul's temple. Taking one step every day for my goals is my soul's temple. Acknowledging every step that I take is my soul's temple. Acknowledging every step that I take is my soul's temple. Acknowledging every step that I take is my soul's temple. My gratitude for each step that I take to myself and the people who encourage me is my soul's temple. My gratitude for every step that I take to myself and the people who encourage me is my soul's temple. My gratitude for every step that I take to myself and the people who encourage me is my soul's temple. Looking for the brighter side of life, looking towards the brighter side of life is my soul's temple. Looking towards the brighter side of life is my soul's temple. Looking towards the brighter side of life is my soul's temple. Acknowledging my limitations is my soul's temple. Acknowledging my limitations is my soul's temple. Acknowledging my limitations is my soul's temple. Taking help in overcoming my limitations is my soul's temple. Taking help to overcome my limitations is my soul's temple. Taking help to overcome my limitations is my soul's temple. Being the best I can be is my soul's temple. Being the best I can be daily is my soul's temple. Being the best I can be daily is my soul's temple. Being the best I can be daily is my soul's temple. Being the best I can be daily is my soul's temple. Being the best I can be daily is my soul's temple. Being the best I can be daily is my soul's temple. Being the best I can be daily is my soul's temple. Putting my best foot forward is my soul's temple. Putting my best foot forward for my goals is my soul's temple. Putting my best foot forward for my goals is my soul's temple. Putting my best foot forward for my goals is my soul's temple. Putting my best foot forward for my goals is my soul's temple. Putting my best foot forward for my goals is my soul's temple. Putting my best foot forward for my goals is my soul's temple. Remaining guided by the divine as I put my best foot forward is my soul's temple. Remaining guided by the divine as I put my best foot forward is my soul's temple. Remaining guided by the divine as I put my best foot forward is my soul's temple. Remaining guided by the divine as I put my best foot forward is my soul's temple. Remaining guided by the divine as I put my best foot forward is my soul's temple. Remaining guided by the divine as I put my best foot forward is my soul's temple. Remaining guided by the divine as I put my best foot forward is my soul's temple. Yeah, that's it. So what y'all can do is, if you want to, you can write down these statements later on, listen to the recording when I share it. Just the last bit, and you can write down these. Write down your goals. Do these statements looking at your goal every day and see what shows up in 3 months. And you can give it away. Like if you have children who want to achieve goals, if you have, siblings or anybody who is struggling with the goals, just show them, give them this YouTube, give them the Soul's Temple, tell them to write down their goals and to do the Soul's Temple and see what shifts. Thank
I
you.
want to say something.
Yeah.
I was listening to your talk, so I joined a little late today. And I just felt one thing great about your talks is that you're very inspiring. And secondly, it's your very honesty, simplicity, I would call it authenticity, that attracts in your talks. So it's not like you're being very
Raw.
just yourself. Yeah, just being yourself. And that makes it possible for anybody to achieve and be wherever it is, because like you feel that you're not different. Everybody's story is the same. You start at a basic and then you rise above. So
Yeah.
that is inspiring.
Absolutely. I was not even average. I was below average always. And I'm still not, I'm not above average or like, wow, the best in the world. Nothing. I don't want to be that anymore. I'm just one step every day better than yesterday. That's all. That is enough. That much is enough for, getting better at anything that you want to do in life.
And I think that one step would take you towards self-love.
Absolutely.
Because you know that you're growing and each day it's going to be making a difference to yourself, and that
Yeah.
is journey towards self-love.
And this whole thing, right, of being exclusive or being beyond the people, right? Like this particular leader or this. I'm not inspired by, people who are very highly successful in terms of money and name, fame, recognition. I'm inspired by people who have really, really contributed to the world. Like, for example, APJ Kalam, and like, not because he was the president. There are so many presidents who came and left. I don't even know the names of those people. Right? But people like him, they every day gave their best to the world. Okay? And not that, oh, we have to become president or we have to become APJ Kalam or scientist or anything. No, I'm just saying you're being the best that you can be every day. Your best. If your best is this, doesn't matter. Like a firefly lights up that small light, but in the dark, night, that firefly light is also beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful in its own way. So it's not, oh, you can't compare a firefly with the sun. The sun is like 1 million times bigger than the firefly, or maybe I don't know how many million times bigger. So if the firefly thinks I have to become the sun, it'll keep burning itself, but it'll never become the sun. Because that's not what it is born to be. It's born as a firefly. It can just marvel in its ability to create that small spark of light amidst the jungle of, dark night. And people marvel at that too. So the problem, not with just me, everybody, is that we want to become something that we are not. I realized this like 5 years down, because when people used to every day criticize me or give me feedback about what I didn't do correct, yeah, I was open for feedbacks always. I would improvise, I would keep on improvising, but then I would never be enough. Until one day I realized there are certain things I can change and certain things I cannot change. I don't want to change. Certain things, I love it the way they are. I don't want to change them. And so I'm going to maintain that. So if being simple is my way, I'm going to be simple. And then it doesn't, of course, I don't come with being this itself, I must have like 1,000 people sitting and listening to me. It doesn't matter to me. If these 10 people are good enough for me to feel happy. So, it's not like, I don't want to stand in front of 10,000 people in town. Like people might say, oh, that means you don't have big dreams. No, I don't have big dreams. So now what? Like, have you achieved your small dreams? Talk about that. Then we'll talk about big dreams and all. What? Why do we all have to have big dreams? Why? Not required. Small dreams, small, beautiful dreams. We all can have small and very beautiful dreams. And I think that quote, again, these quotes which I've written in my childhood, like school, colleges, I used to write down these quotes from books I read. God must have loved the common man. That is why he made so many of them. I like to be the common man. Because then I feel one among everybody. If you're somewhere at the top, somewhere sitting, you don't feel one with everybody then. I like to feel
Alone on the
one.
top.
Yeah,
You're alone on the top.
you are alone on the top. And it's okay to be alone if you love to be that. That's okay. There's nothing wrong about it. It's just that, what is it? Is it congruent to who I am? Whenever we set a goal, we have to know that, is this congruent to my being? It becomes impossible only when it is not congruent to who you are. Even if I do a full beauty parlor class and come, I won't like putting makeup every day. That's not congruent to who I am. I don't like to do that. So every day, if I put on whatever eyeshadow, I don't even know the names of those things. If I do all of that, I may look very beautiful. I'm not saying that. Of course, I will look gorgeous and my videos will be like great and all that. But whenever I do all that, I don't feel that great. If I put on too much makeup one day, I will go wash my face after 5 minutes. I'll be like, hey, what is this? So it's not like there's nothing right or wrong. I mean, it's great to do makeup also. I mean, my daughter loves to do makeup and she does it, and I'm not against that. It's just that whoever I am, I'm being who I am. That's all. Like, that word you used, authentic. And authentic is rare. People love to be what other people want them to be. Very few people have the courage. It requires courage to be authentic, honestly. In this world of hypocrisy, in the world of camouflage, in the world where everything is about show business, to be authentic is very rare. And I want to maintain this rarity. Because I have the courage, like courage, 100 on 100. I can go and do anything. Cool. Thank you very much, people. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
So much. Thank you, Vandana.
Thank you.